People better know what this family's about. No secrets.
All right. Because Lydia asked me to start
I'm so sorry.
Because
She's performing.
Uncle George, I'm trying to do jokes for the family.
I'm one of the hecklers.
Care about me. All right. So because Lydia asked me to, I'm going to open up with a joke that I discovered while I was at her house the other night. We were playing a game. It was Oscar's game from, I don't know if you guys have seen Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Has anybody seen it?
Yeah.
You like it? Okay, all right. So Diary of a Wimpy Kid, it's about this kid. He has a diary. I haven't seen it, but he's a wimpy kid. That's what I gather from the name. And the board game is called... the game is called the Cheese Touch game. So first of all, I'm like, okay, whatever, we're going to touch some cheese. I'm down. I like cheese. I like touching things, I suppose. But as we opened up the game, some curious things started to occur. First of all, keep in mind, people, this is a children's game. Okay, there's a stack of cards which instruct you to do it like this. I'm like, whatever. It's like a charades game, whatever. So, you pick up a card and it's do it like this. So you do silently. So we dance silently, we drew silently, fun stuff like that. And then, what was the first one? Oh, and then there's cards.
The funniest thing you said.
Well, hold on, I'll get there. So there's cards that ask you yes or no, and then you guess what is yes or no. So one of the cards was, have you ever put suntan lotion on an adult? That is one of the cards that you ask a child in the game. Suntan lotion on an adult. I am dead serious. This is for real. So, and then there was another one where there's, oh, you did this, go back 3 spaces. You did this, go 4 spaces. So we pick up a card and it says, what was it? Roderick gives you a ride in his van. There's a picture of a windowless van and a guy with slanted eyebrows.
Roderick loves you.
With the words loaded diaper on it.
What did you say to Oscar, though?
I said, Oscar, if anyone offers to pick you up in a van, if any Roderick picks you up in a van, do not do it. Don't do it.
Call Aunt Cece.
Call Aunt Cece, call your mom, call grandma, we'll pick you up.
Make a lot of noise.
Right. And then there was the Sweet Secrets diary that you got to take a peek in the game. I don't know what kid has a Sweet Secrets diary. It sounds more like an adult diary to me, but so I was very upset with this game. There was questions like, would you ever go on a reality TV show? And I'm like, this game has been so much foreplay for so many children. Really unfortunate. I think it's a bad joke, but it might be very well true. So, okay, let's see what else I got here. All right, so, it is so good to be back in Cincinnati, and it's not just because I get to be around friends and family and people I love. It's because Cincinnatians are so much nicer than Chicagoans. I mean, they say that, I'm dead serious. They say, in the Midwest, everyone's so nice, and it just gets less and less true to the bigger cities you get. So, Chicagoans are just so over you before they even know you. I was pressured into attending a networking party. I was like, what's a networking party? We just have parties in Cincinnati. A networking party is where you just go and lie to a bunch of people for a whole night. It's like writing a resume with your mouth. So, it's a lie, but it's neat. But yeah, you go to Chicago and you're like, oh, I'm a comedian. Or you go to Cincinnati and you say, oh, I'm a comedian. And they're like, oh, cool. Where do you perform? You go to Chicago and you're like, oh, I'm a comedian. They're like, cool, where do you serve? And I say, in Wicker Park. Something about me you may not know from just looking at me is I'm a big Star Trek nerd, Next Generation, because I like the bald men. Yes, that's a real thing. I like Star Trek. That's a real thing that I put on my OkCupid profile to lure nerds because they're intimidated about talking to someone who owns a vagina, and I understand that. So I say, listen, it's no big deal. I watch Star Trek. I'm one of you. It works like candy. But I'll be honest, I mostly love the show because of actor Jonathan Frakes, if any of you know him. He's so handsome. So AKA Commander William T. Riker. He's just like a dream.
Number one.
He is number one. The man is so attractive. He got laid on a genderless planet. I don't know how that happened, but it did in the show. That's hot. He is hot. See, there you go.
No, we know why.
We have this. Oddly enough, never came back with space herpes. I don't know how that didn't happen. I would have liked to see Dr. Crusher on the show try to deal with that. Like, this is why we have policies against this bill. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Let's see, here we go. Speaking of STDs, on a recent trip to Planned Parenthood, hi Mom and Dad.
We'll talk later.
On a recent trip to Planned Parenthood, I had a pregnant nurse practitioner. So I couldn't help myself in saying, was it planned? And if so, do you get discounts? If not, do you get discounts? And are you hiring? I mean, what else would you get from working at Planned Parenthood? You get health, dental, and half price above-os. I'm in. Because having kids when you're young sucks, as everyone in Price Hill and the West Side knows. It sucks to have kids when you're young. You have to watch out for their safety and, not let them die or something, which sucks. And, I find that there's a cruel irony in the candy donation boxes for missing children. Because isn't free candy how a kid went missing in the first place? I know, strong with the pedophilia jokes tonight. I don't know why I did that. It felt right. It felt right.
That's good.
Welcome to comedy.
Good comedy. Cece, good for you.
I have some more if you're interested. I can see whatever I can dish up here in my little book.
Yeah, maybe you can make my dad say more things I don't ever want to hear.
I know, this is how you know you have a loving and supportive family. We talk about going to Planned Parenthood, abortions, and STDs, and my mom isn't going to pull me aside later and have a serious guy. She knows. She already knows. I don't have to have that conversation.
Because all of us have been there, done that already.
Exactly.
She'll tell you the talking points you missed.
Right.
So I really like cartoons. I'm a big cartoon fan. Something I used to watch as a kid was Winnie the Pooh. You guys have seen Winnie the Pooh, right? We live in the 100-acre woods with Christopher Robin. But I feel like we're so obsessed with mental health these days that if Winnie the Pooh aired now, it would just get torn down and all the characters would just be like diagnosed with psychological problems. I really feel that way. Like Pooh would be like some obese,
He had ADHD or something.
Next,
No, that's bigger
an obese pantsless bear comes to us with his crippling diabetes. Like poor Pooh. And Piglet was always hanging around him. Like he always was like so codependent. Like, oh Pooh, I don't know if I can do it. Pooh, I don't know. And Rabbit was so OCD about his garden. Don't get into his garden. His carrots had to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hey, it fucks me up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then of course poor Eeyore.
Yeah.
Like Pooh would be like, has anyone seen Eeyore recently? No? Not in a couple weeks? And they like go looking for him, and there's just Eeyore hanging by his tail, which he finally found. Just a note that says, I won't be a bother anymore. Yeah, you didn't know your niece was dark.
Suicide humor is always
I didn't know your niece was dark. Let me see.
I'm married.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I'm a waitress in Chicago, that's what I do, and I've been in the restaurant industry for over 10 years now, and because I'm at that age where I'm starting to try to understand what career I want to do, I'm starting to feel like waitressing is my life's work, and it's kind of sad to think about, and I'm like, what happens? What happens if I'm a a waitress forever, and I go to heaven, I die, and I go to heaven, and St. Peter's sitting there, and he's like, well, Cece, what did you do to deserve to get into heaven? What did you do with your life? And I'd look at him, and I'd say, you know what, St. Peter? Not marry ketchups together. But honestly, if I got to be a waitress forever in heaven, I'd be stoked. Like, I'd be like, hi, my name is Cecilia, I'll be your waitress for eternity. But seriously, guys, try the mini sliders, they're to die for. You know, and then you get all the famous people, you know, you get like Pope, and you get like all the popes at one table partying, drinking wine, you get Gandhi at another table giving some awesome conversation, you know, like, oh, King Solomon, get him, great temper. But don't ask him to split the bill, just don't do it.
Takes a minute, but it was there.
And then if Jesus Christ himself sat at my table, I don't know what I'd do. It would be so amazing. I'd be like, oh my God, Mr. Christ. Can I call you Mr. Christ? Big fan of your work. Love what you do. So, anyway, we have a wine special tonight. Can I go ahead and get a bottle for you and your 12 guests? Just water? Okay, yeah, And the fish special. What? One fish special. And free bread. All right, well, whatever. And what a Jew.
Get it down.
But you don't have to ask me, just ask the other waitress, Mary Magdalene. She'll tell you all about it.
That's funny.
No, I'm fine. Sure, I'm fine.
Sorry, I'm just looking back up here.
I'm waiting for the event on the Three Loud Sisters.
Three Loud Sisters? Honestly, I know you guys have asked me to do material with the family, but I don't know if that's material for the stage or material for my therapist. Because a lot of times it runs the line. It runs the line. I need a little bit of both. I'm like, should I be crying or should I be laughing? Is this funny or is it just tragic? So a lot of times it just stays there. I'll let you know when it becomes funny. I'll let you know.
Do you have gas?
We do?
That's an interesting
Oh,
routine.
Ryan. Okay.
Well, we don't have any help, so we're just, let's decide we're gonna do work for him.
We're offering it to them. I really love ginger
Do
ale.
more sightseeing, I'm gonna do more.
Okay. There's a rap in here.
We've only wrote.
That's what I'm looking at right now. There's a rap.
We're into the year.
I'm not gonna do because that's
We probably didn't send it to you.
It's a long rap. I don't think it is. She posted on her Christmas card. Is it that rap?
Did you?
Yes, it is that rap. So I think I'm Is it really rap? Okay. Alright, I got one more for anyone who's ever been in the restaurant industry. So this is for anyone who's waited tables. Just like there are 5 stages of grief, there are 5 stages of restaurant grief. Or in Charlie Brown's case, good grief. The first stage is fear of losing your newly acquired job, so you bust your ass to look like a perfect employee. The next stage is sadness that you're not making enough money, even though you continuously work hard. The third stage is anger at everyone in the business. Your coworkers are lazy or stupid, but you treat them. Your managers are tightwad jerks, and your customers are cheapskate babies. The fourth stage is acceptance. Despite all the shit you put up with, you grow accustomed to the pace and the atmosphere. And the fifth and final stage is apathy. You no longer care if you work or don't. It doesn't matter anymore anyway, because this job sucks and you would rather put a gun in your head than one more time. You need money, but anything's better than this. Anything, I'm done, I quit. Unless, hey, who's that newbie? He's pretty hot. Maybe I'll stick around. All right. Thank you.